What's happening, everyone, and welcome back to the Roger Report. The news cycle never sleeps, and neither do we, bringing you the absolute latest, hottest updates that you need to know. We're talking seismic shifts, game-changing decisions, and stories that are already rewriting the playbook. Get ready, because we're diving headfirst into a whirlwind of action across the sports landscape. From unexpected quarterback moves that have fans buzzing, we're kicking things off with a move that could redefine a franchise's season. The Steelers have made a massive bet, bringing in a legendary quarterback to try and end a long playoff drought. Will this high-stakes gamble pay off? Next up, we're diving deeper into the quarterback carousel, focusing on the ripple effects of these major player movements. One team is already facing a significant setback before the season even truly begins, losing a key player to injury. We'll break down who's out, the impact on their depth chart, and how this changes the game plan for the season ahead. Then, we're shifting our focus to the wide receiver market and a fascinating decision that highlights the player's perspective in free agency. A star pass catcher had to choose between a familiar face and a new opportunity. We'll explore why he opted for a new system and what it means for both the team that missed out and the one that gained a new weapon. And finally, we're unpacking the details behind that big receiver decision, getting into the why behind the choice and what factors weighed most heavily. These are the stories making waves, and you're getting the breakdown right here. Make sure you're subscribed and the notification bell is on so you never miss an update. A bold gamble in Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Steelers, aiming to break an 8-year playoff victory drought, have made a high-profile move by signing four-time MVP Aaron Rodgers. This decision signals a significant shift in their quarterback strategy, as they did not retain Russell Wilson or Justin Fields after a disappointing end to the 2024 season. Rodgers, at 41, becomes the league's oldest active player, and his arrival in Pittsburgh is seen as an attempt to bolster competitiveness for the 2025 season, while also serving as a potential bridge to a future franchise quarterback expected to be available in the 2026 draft, which Pittsburgh will host. The team's long-standing formula relies heavily on its defense to generate turnovers and create opportunities, hoping the offense can secure close victories. This approach has yielded moderate success, but has not translated into deep playoff runs, with the current drought being the longest for the franchise since the iconic Immaculate Reception. Coach Mike Tomlin, entering his 19th season and now the longest-tenured coach in major North American sports, and Rodgers share a mutual respect, a connection that could be crucial. However, the challenge of competing against formidable AFC opponents like the Baltimore Ravens and Buffalo Bills remains significant. The Steelers have significantly reshaped their roster, bringing in new talent such as wide receiver DK Metcalf, cornerbacks Jalen Ramsey and Darius Slay, running back Kenny Gainwell, tight end Jonnu Smith, safety Juan Thornhill, and quarterbacks Mason Rudolph and Will Howard. Notable departures include quarterbacks Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, running back Najee Harris, wide receiver George Pickens, safety Minkah Fitzpatrick, left tackle Dan Moore Jr., linebacker Elandon Roberts, and cornerback Dante Jackson. The team's strengths lie in its secondary, which, even after trading three-time All-Pro Minkah Fitzpatrick, has the potential to be elite. The acquisition of Jalen Ramsey adds versatility and physicality, complementing Joey Porter Jr. and Darius Slay. The edge rush remains a strong suit, with T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith supported by Nick Herbig. However, weaknesses persist, particularly at wide receiver, where the team lacks a clear number 2 option behind DK Metcalf. The development of Roman Wilson and the health of Calvin Austin III are key questions. The offensive line's preseason performance has also raised concerns, with the team needing a strong anchor at left tackle from first-round pick Broderick Jones to effectively protect Rodgers. In camp developments, rookie wide receiver Roman Wilson has shown promise despite an injury-shortened rookie season, with Rodgers expressing high expectations for his potential. The offense has shown flashes of sluggishness, which the team attributes more to the strength of their defense than offensive deficiencies. For fantasy football enthusiasts, third-round running back Caleb Johnson is one to watch, with potential to challenge starter Jaylen Warren for carries. Hold on tight, because the quarterback carousel continues to spin. Next, we'll break down a surprising injury that's already shaking up a team's plans before the season even kicks off. Quarterback depth tested early. The Pittsburgh Steelers' aggressive offseason approach, which included acquiring star cornerback Jalen Ramsey and wide receiver DK Metcalf, aimed to position them for a Super Bowl run in 2025. A key component of this strategy was the signing of four-time NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers to a one-year deal, with Rodgers open to extending his career beyond this season depending on his performance and the team's success. However, the team has already faced an unexpected setback with rookie quarterback Will Howard suffering an injury that has prematurely ended his training camp. Howard, who was expected to be a significant contributor and a potential successor to Rodgers, expressed his commitment to staying engaged despite his injury. Despite initial hopes that Howard might recover in time for the regular season, reports indicate that the injury will necessitate a stint on the injured reserve. ESPN's Adam Schefter reported that the Steelers placed both Howard and cornerback Daunt Kent on injured reserve, while signing safety Chuck Clark and guard Max Sharping to their active roster. This move signifies a recalibration of the team's depth chart and immediate needs. Fans on social media reacted to the news, with many acknowledging the boost in depth provided by the signings of Clark and Sharping, while also lamenting the loss of Howard and Kent to IR. The sentiment expressed by fans highlights the dual nature of roster management, strengthening one area while simultaneously dealing with unexpected blows in another. The team's ability to navigate these changes will be crucial as they aim to compete in a tough AFC. Howard's injury, while unfortunate, underscores the importance of contingency planning in the NFL. The Steelers' decision to bring in veteran quarterback Mason Rudolph alongside Rodgers provides experienced depth, but the long-term development of younger quarterbacks like Howard remains a priority. The team's overall strategy appears to be built around a strong defense and veteran leadership on offense, but injuries to key developmental players can test the resilience of any team's roster construction. The impact of Howard's absence will likely be felt most keenly in the development of the offensive scheme and in providing a solid backup option should Rodgers face any issues. The Steelers' front office will need to monitor Howard's recovery closely and potentially explore further options to bolster the quarterback position if necessary, especially with Rodgers' age and uncertain long-term future in the league. The team's optimism about their Super Bowl aspirations hinges on multiple factors, and injuries to crucial young talent present an immediate challenge to those aspirations. It's not just about who joins a team, but also who chooses not to. Next, we'll explore a receiver's decision that put a familiar face against a new opportunity. A familiar offer, a new path. Veteran wide receiver Marquez Valdes-Scantling recently faced a significant career decision, weighing an offer to reunite with his former quarterback Aaron Rodgers on the Pittsburgh Steelers against joining the San Francisco 49ers. According to reports from The Athletic, Valdes-Scantling was evenly split, considering both options equally. Rodgers had actively sought a reunion, making it clear he wanted Valdes-Scantling in Pittsburgh. The two players shared a successful four-year tenure with the Green Bay Packers from 2018 to 2021, where Valdes-Scantling established himself as a deep threat, leading the league in yards per catch in 2020. After a season with the New Orleans Saints, he was released by the Seattle Seahawks during final roster cutdowns, making him a free agent. Ultimately, Valdes-Scantling opted to sign with the 49ers practice squad, a decision he explained was driven by familiarity and a better fit within the offensive scheme. He noted that the 49ers system closely mirrored one he had previously played in, allowing for a smoother transition and quicker integration. This continuity was a key factor in his choice, as it meant less time spent learning a new playbook and more time focusing on contributing to the team. While the prospect of reuniting with Rodgers offered the comfort of a known quantity, the strategic advantage of joining a system he understood outweighed the emotional pull of the reunion. This decision also reflects the broader trend of players evaluating not just the team or the quarterback, but also the offensive scheme and their potential role within it. Valdes-Scantling also had a prior connection with the 49ers, who had shown interest in him before the 2022 season, though he ultimately signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. His admiration for 49ers general manager John Lynch, a former star safety, also played a role in his decision. Pittsburgh, meanwhile, has been looking to add speed to its receiving core, having hosted Gabe Davis, who is still recovering from a knee injury. Valdes-Scantling would have addressed this need, but his choice means the Steelers are likely to proceed with their current group of receivers, including DK Metcalf as the primary option. With Roman Wilson and Calvin Austin III competing for the secondary role, Ben Skowronek as a blocker, and Scotty Miller as a veteran presence. The Steelers may revisit their receiver strategy closer to the trade deadline, and a potential midseason release from the 49ers could reopen the door for Rodgers to make another attempt to recruit him. It's a tough choice when familiar faces meet new opportunities. Now, let's dive into the specific reasons why Marquez Valdes-Scantling picked San Francisco over reunion with Aaron Rodgers. Scheme fit over star power. Following his release from the Seattle Seahawks, veteran wide receiver Marquez Valdes-Scantling found himself at a crossroads, with both the San Francisco 49ers and the Pittsburgh Steelers vying for his services. The decision was a difficult one, pitting a potential reunion with his former Green Bay Packers quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, against the allure of joining a team with a familiar offensive system. Valdes-Scantling stated that the choice was a toss-up, 50-50, acknowledging the strong relationship he had with Rodgers, who had expressed a clear desire for him to join the Steelers. However, the receiver ultimately prioritized familiarity and scheme fit, signing with the 49ers practice squad. Valdes-Scantling elaborated on his decision, emphasizing the benefits of joining an offense that mirrored schemes he had previously played in. He highlighted that this familiarity would allow him to contribute more effectively and immediately, minimizing the learning curve associated with adapting to a new system. This strategic choice underscores the importance of offensive scheme and quarterback-receiver chemistry in today's NFL. By choosing the 49ers, Valdes-Scantling aimed to maximize his chances of getting on the field quickly and making a significant impact on his new team. This move also signifies San Francisco's continued interest in the receiver, as they had pursued him earlier in his career. His admiration for 49ers GM John Lynch, a former player from his home state, added another layer to his decision. Valdes-Scantling's perspective on leveraging his knowledge of the Seahawks, his former team, is also noteworthy. He expressed his willingness to share insights with his new teammates, particularly regarding the tendencies of Seattle's players. While he believes much of this information is readily available on film, he anticipates being able to provide additional details, especially to the receiving core, about how specific defensive backs play certain leverage techniques. Looking ahead, Valdes-Scantling is eager to build chemistry with his new quarterback, Brock Purdy, praising his efficiency and lack of turnovers. For the 49ers, acquiring Valdes-Scantling brings valuable depth, experience, and insider knowledge of a division rival. For the receiver, it represents an opportunity to revitalize his career within an offense designed to showcase playmakers, even if it meant passing up a reunion with a familiar, high-profile quarterback. That's a wrap on our deep dives for today. But before you go, let's hit those headlines one last time. And that's a wrap on today's top stories. The Steelers are making a massive bet on Aaron Rodgers to end their playoff drought. Rookie QB Will Howard is headed to injured reserve for Pittsburgh, a tough blow for the team's depth. Marquez Valdes-Scantling chose scheme familiarity with the 49ers over a reunion with Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh, and we broke down the exact reasons behind that receiver decision. If you loved this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe for more, ring that notification bell, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to follow us on all social platforms for even more exclusive content. We'll see you next time.